The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned. My where is it?
Because I'm just fucked with the one enemy by whatever would run up to me. I just Eldritch blast it backwards.
I could use my 9th level spell to cast Revive.
I can use Finger of Death.
I got Greater Restoration ready, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to come up.
Oh, we're live. Nice.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Stone Skin.
Did you remember Sirenscape?
Of course not, but I'm opening it now.
Cool.
We're
It's only been
hi.
a few months.
Yeah, welcome back. It's been forever.
November 26th.
God damn.
Jesus. Yeah, forever. Welcome to Corruption Crew. Does anybody want to do a recap of what happened?
No.
No.
Don't you all have
Didn't
detailed
think so.
notes?
No.
We got into a fight with a ship and won.
I think the question is less can you do is like do you want to do a recap or can you do a recap? Because I know I fucking can't.
I can't even do that for weekly games.
I think I could, but it's might be a little scattered in the battle because there was multiple interesting enemies.
Okay,
was
I got you.
Focused on one.
So we picked up last we left off, we had picked up about 6 months after the wards had fallen around Del Diablo, releasing all of the corruption that is seeping from the eye above the city into the rest of the world of Radix. The crew split off to do separate missions in their own ways to try and help support and protect the city as best they could. Onyx started a penal colony or
Not
a suicide squad.
colony, a penal
Suicide-
brigade.
There we go. Suicide Squad, if you would.
Yes.
Demona dedicated a good amount of resources from her guild into seeing what could be done to revive the wards, and when that proved fruitless, just doing what could be done to protect people and facilitate freeing people from the rubble. Cyberus, I believe, went around cleaning up various different mini rifts, the frays that have been sprouting up all over the place. And Gruk spent the time settling down and hyper-focusing on fixing that staff and finally getting that done. While Passion proceeded to work with the Henshin some, pick on the big bad evil guy, Cat!
You'll hear the meow.
It's really good on your It's really good on your program to censor Garfield's face because you didn't give permission.
Yeah, it doesn't like Garfield.
It's really funny because it's like perfectly censoring just Garfield's face.
I think it might be because he's about the color of the background.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Passion also went and picked up the MacGuffin, which she hasn't told any of the rest of the crew about.
What MacGuffin? What?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
The last episode, you guys were told that there was one ship within the Black Fleet that has managed to break past Del Diablo's basically their net and has started to escape into the degradation field and will soon make it out of it. You guys were sent to stop that from happening. Took a helicopter and airdropped onto the ship, where with a combination of wall of fire and blade barrier and a lot of eldritch blasts and a bunch of punching and stabbing and fire, you guys managed to take out everything on that ship except for one lonely little grug who is currently charmed by Cyberus. For the duration, it was for 1 minute, and I think we determined that about half a minute had passed. So you have about 30 seconds left before this grug remembers that you are not a friend. What do you want to do?
I would address it directly. I would say, tell us who else is on the ship.
The gunner and
Cannoneer.
think
Anyone important?
most of them like looks around at the dead bodies. Most died here.
Is this ship going to dissolve when we take it?
I'll say you guys did see that although there were a handful of individuals running around on the deck of the ship, there were a lot more than what you guys faced. A lot of them died to that first assault of the blade barrier and the wall of fire.
Yes, we were very smart.
But sorry, you asked what was it?
If the ship is going to dissolve soon, or why does it dissolve?
Well, the ships dissolve when we don't need them anymore.
What triggers that?
Well, when when Ka tells it that we don't need it.
You say cod?
Ka.
Ka. Much more clear.
You guys have actually heard this name before. You know that this is probably referring to that general that Passion has been taking pot shots at every now and then. They're oddly the most human looking of everything that's ever come out of the eye. They look pretty much exactly like a regular human, except instead of 6-7 feet tall at the highest, they're closer to 10 or 11 feet tall. Short, curly, black hair, wearing sort of Roman-esque Spartan armor.
All right.
Where is Ka?
Under the eye, I think. Back in the city. Points behind the ship, back further towards where the city is. You guys know that Ka doesn't leave very far away from the eye. He tends to stick around that general area. He still has free roam of the city and can teleport pretty much at free will, it seems. But he does tend to stay relatively close to the eye.
Have we seen one of these ships dissolve? How fast does it happen?
It's fast enough that you guys would probably be able, those of you that have jetpacks would definitely be able to activate them. It's before it hits the ground. So usually within a couple of rounds, effectively.
So we just got to keep this thing in the air. And hope that Ka doesn't notice.
In theory, yes.
Onyx I say we take this thing and smash it onto Ka.
You and I had the same idea.
I think he would.
Great minds think alike.
I think he would frag it out before we could get it to that point.
Is there value in this prisoner? I'm asking the group. I don't know.
As you're asking this, Cyberus, you can tell that in a moment or two, this charm is going to wear off in just another second or two.
Grug just shrugs.
Not particularly.
Well, I don't think Cyberus would just kill him outright. Unless these are just horrible corruption monsters, right?
They're horrible corruption monsters. They're Gugs. Do you not remember what Gugs look like?
Yeah, but I mean, everything deserves a chance.
If Cyberus is hesitating, Passion will pull out her Henshin weapon thing. I can deal with this then.
Where are we at?
I thought for sure you were going to pull out finger guns and just yeet this poor thing off the side of the ship.
Are we on deck?
Eldritch Blast in face.
Okay, all right. When everyone looks like they're just we don't know what to do with him or whatever, I'm just gonna have him give me a strength check.
Okay.
Is Gruk a big thing right now? I can't remember.
No,
I think he's just...
I think I used to check back because I was like, eh.
I couldn't remember if he did something weird.
Gruk always is doing something weird.
Exactly.
I'm going to assume a 14 isn't going to get anywhere near your...
Okay, question. So this is actually literally the first time I've ever used a staff in 5th. Oh no, it uses my spell save DC. Okay, some of them where it's a fixed DC with the item.
Yeah, for staffs, it's your DC.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Rock points his staff at him, and he just floats into the air, what Syndrome does to Mr. Incredible, and I just eat him off the deck.
Okay.
using telekinesis.
Okay, yeah. There's like the goofy scream. Yahoo! Off the side. He's gone.
There's 5 charges.
Well, let's get to the big wheel they got in
Yeah,
there.
let's try to get this as quick as possible to them.
We got to go inside.
Oh.
Cyberus is going to go inside the main door.
So there's no one left but us. That's right.
On the
No,
surface.
nothing
and the
living.
gunner.
He did say, other than the gunner, he did say that there was a gunner.
They did mission a pilot though, so if anybody knows where the piloting room would be.
Yeah, there isn't like there's a spot on the deck where like that the wheel would be.
Mhm.
But you didn't see anybody driving it. Like
The Grand Admiral will take care of that. I'm going to go inside the ship.
stepping down inside the ship. Looking around, the material in here it seems like to be a combination of all manner of different things. It's not just the same. Like the deck had been made of a sort of almost every other panel had been metal and then wood and then metal and then wood. Down here, it seems to be a sort of cobbled together materials of one part of it looks like the tile that you would see in like a subway station. Another part is hard concrete. Another bit is like wood paneling. There are like pipes running all throughout it that you can see through these pipes, little streams of it. First, what looks like a liquid, but when you look closer is actually the very faint green ones and zeros of the corrupted glitching code.
Gruk is gonna follow the pipes to see where they lead.
Following them, there are several other rooms that have like spaces set aside where they're bunks. They don't have like blankets or like pillows or anything, but it's definitely like a place for the crew to rest. Before Gruk, you make your way back to the very bottom back of the ship, which has a large closed door. And the door is completely made of this like hard stone-like material that almost looks like emerald.
Stone, you say?
Mhm.
I cast pass through. No.
Okay.
We're so high level, it's like spell slot.
On the other side of the door, you pass through it and find yourself. The room is almost completely different. It's entirely made of this sort of dark green stone that is carved with all manner of different sigils and words in the corrupted language. And in the center of this room is a sort of raised dais on which sits what looks like a statue of that same green material with 2 arms, 2 legs, and the head is sort of elongated into almost like a beak shape. And as soon as you pass through, it sort of turns and the head lifts to look in your direction.
And the tubes are like attached to it?
The tubes actually go into this room, and you don't see like an exit, but you can see that same shimmering green energy flowing all around through these carved words in the walls here.
Let's see. Gruk will say first in common. Actually, no, won't say it in common. Forgot I'm one of the weird rye things. In via telepathy, I say greeting.
Creature just kind of looks at you. Greetings.
it say that out loud?
It says it in its mind.
Okay. You speak?
Somewhat. Its sort of head is tilting curiously, looking at you.
I'm Gruk. I say out loud and. What can I call you? Does it seem like it understands?
It does, although it sort of looks confused. I am the ship.
You're the ship.
Of course, the ship is fucking Ascension.
Those are the best kind of ships.
Yeah, wouldn't you do that if you had the chance?
Ask Bender. He knows. Anyway. Futurama reference. Are you a friend or foe? Or neither? As Gruk at this point, you can consider this prone condition, but he sits down, crosses his legs, still holding the staff, but he like rests it on his, trying to show that he's
sort
not,
of
like hostile.
looks to you confused. We would be foes, but you carry a favor of the Neverborn.
Yes. Yes, I do. Are you Neverborn? Are you allied with Neverborn as well? Do you...
Allied with. Created by.
Will you fly? We promise we won't harm you.
Those you're with, though, they hurt our kind, my kind.
Only when
You have as well.
Only when needed.
Make a persuasion check.
I was wondering what. Sorry guys, I might have us blow. The ship might blow us up.
I think we're all okay with that.
And there's worse things.
Yeah, Gruk just gives off a creepy vibe. I like to think, because I got a 9.
And sort of looks to you curiously, and it almost looks like it's more watching the staff than watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And like turns its head, and it's looking like at the door. Meanwhile, what are the rest of you guys doing outside the door? You guys saw Gruk sort of just start down this hallway and pass through a solid stone wall that seems to be completely sealed.
You guys can go first if you want.
I was gonna say Passion first was gonna go to where the gunner was. Go take care of that problem.
When I went inside, I would probably yell out Cannoneer to see if they come say hello.
Looking around, you don't see anything else in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
They're mostly empty rooms. There are a handful of. There is one room that would have been like the equivalent of like a captain's office, where there's a desk and you can see laid out on the desktop various different stones and like rounded pieces of wood and metal that look almost like the sort of things you would use on a like war table, but they're arranged in a way that makes no sense to anything you guys can discern. But as far as you can tell, everything else on this ship is empty. Gruk, the
It's weird.
creature, sort of looks to you and says, I can fly most of the way there. When the walking corruption catches sight, he will probably take control and I will return to the Eye.
I understand. Do you mind if I study?
It sort of just does like a shrug, but like obviously one that it's never really figured out what that's supposed to mean.
Gruk then gets up and he's investigating the room, trying to see how stuff.
Okay.
Well-
Looking around, you guys are whatever this gunner individual is that that Gug was talking about. It's probably in that room that Gruk is in, or it's already gone. One or the other.
Well, if there's only one place left to investigate, that's where I'm going.
The
Anyone else
latrine.
come inside?
Yeah, I follow.
I guess
Yeah,
we knock
Passion
on that.
can.
Yeah, as Gruk is starting to like study the runes on the walls here, you hear a very, very faint knocking on the stone wall.
You okay in there? You've been in there a while.
He fell in.
Everything's okay. Don't harm the ship.
Okay, then what?
We can keep the gunner alive.
There doesn't appear to be anybody else. Can you open the door?
Looks over at the entity.
It puts its hand down on that sort of raised dais it's standing on, and you guys see the door just sort of almost like turn to little fractals of crystals and fold back into the walls. And you see this room that's entirely filled with that same dark green stone and a large humanoid looking creature made of emerald dark green stone sitting there on a sort of like raised dais while Gruk has his hands running over the walls looking at these carved words on the walls.
But Cyberus is pressed up against the door, so when it vanishes, he falls to the ground. So he's going to get back up and look around and say, "Whoa, that thing's really corrupted."
That thing is the ship.
All right. What's the plan, Passion? You're in charge, aren't you?
I mean, I already mentioned what our plan is. Thought we were gonna crash this thing into there.
That won't work.
I don't think that. Yeah.
Would you mind telling them what you told? Go over at it.
Sort of like looks to Passion, and it as soon as it sees Passion, it like sort of scoots back a little bit.
Vex will know what I'm talking about. It's like we're talking with a psyker and you're a blank.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's exactly what I figured it was. That it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What is this sinkhole of nothingness in front of me? Silhouetted as a human.
Basically. It says, well, I can take the ship closer to the city, but when we reach sight of the walking corruption, it will likely take control and the ship will be no more.
All right.
Well, I think we
causes
learned
some
everything we
problems.
needed to.
Do you want to be your own? Not controlled by them.
I do not understand.
Are you fine with them controlling you if you get closer to the...
I was made by them. I know nothing else. I do not know if I can exist outside of their will.
It's a bummer.
Are you willing to try? There are many things in the multiverse, in the Retroverse, that you can experience, not be tied down with.
Yes. I would like freedom to leave. And at that, he actually like stands up and walks across the room and like puts his hand out to reach beyond that door and can't.
Gruk starts studying why that's the thing. Can I do like an Arcana check or something?
Yeah.
If this is all
And-
corruption stuff, could Cyberus also help because he'd know?
Yeah,
to
I'll
look
say
more
one
stuff?
of you can roll Arcana with advantage because you're helping and you guys have a good amount of experience with corruption now.
I have proficiency.
I'm pointing at you. I have 2 total, so
Okay,
I
yeah.
think you should be smarter at
That's
that.
me then. I rolled the same thing on both dice, so 19.
So looking at the runes on this ship, you can definitely tell that they are they're all talking about the it's strange it talks about the sort of the parts that make up a ship of what you guys know. So there's like propulsion forward, the rooms that make up and carry all of the passengers, the devices that can be used to make attacks, which you assume are like the cannons. And where it mentions those cannons, you see imagery talking of the creature. And the word doesn't translate very nicely, but based on the fact that it talks about it like a servant, like it's a tool rather than a creature, you're guessing that this is some kind of corrupted golem
Yeah,
or
I was gonna say,
construct.
some kind of construct.
And you know that this was these were created these ships were created by the Neverborn. They're meant to be a sort of they're the elite soldiers effectively. They're the not the biggest bads, but they're the force that carries the troops. And this entire ship and this creature was made for war. It talks about how the creature is designed to control the ship entirely and use the weapons inherent within itself to blast anything in its way out of the way. And that it can absorb the magics of the oververse.
Andy.
What would that entail? So like, how would I view that meaning? Like, if I cast a spell on it, it would absorb it. Or
So effectively, it can the golem can look at a target and absorb a spell that is affecting you and take it for himself.
Okay.
And use that to power himself or the ship.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're getting into like arcane tech, but I was wondering if I could find the specific part of the code that would be giving it remote access. Something else, and I was seeing if I could maybe cast Dispel Magic on that person.
Yeah, if we could find the way that it's connected to the ship itself, we could just break that connection maybe.
To the fleet.
Looking at it, Gruk looking at it, it looks like If you were to break the connection, there's a chance that the golem would cease to exist. Because they're sort of one and the same. The way that
Would there be a way
it
of
seems...
rewriting the control to someone else? Maybe someone else with innate corruption in them. Demona or Gruk staff.
Possibly bind it to a different object in the ship, like a rock.
It'd have to be
Or a
bound,
hat.
It'd have to be bound to something not from the open.
Yeah, so Demona is fully corrupted, but her corruption did technically still come from Radix.
Like
Even
your
though it was
staff is
gifted
like
by the lords and ladies. The closest thing that you could think of would be your staff. I'll say that
The risk involved would probably be my staff blowing up if it doesn't work.
yeah, if you wanted to, you could try something with your staff to try and either break this creature free from the controls and also gain control of the ship. But there is a chance that it could go poorly if you don't roll well.
What about like a piece of one of the creatures up top? Those are corrupted pieces of. Yeah, there's lots of chunks.
The creature says it requires a level of awareness.
Probably shouldn't try to resurrect one of those then. I don't have anything else.
I don't understand what is resurrect.
I wouldn't worry about it.
This is way out of Onyx's wheelhouse.
It's just it's an oververse thing.
Gruk's fragmented arm. He's just gonna like between the eyes, and I'm gonna attempt to do the thing with.
Should
what would that involve?
Should we land the ship first, just in case? Like, if you take the pilot off, it might just stop flying.
I don't think it's designed to.
Well, but it might be better to be 1 foot off the
You guys
ground
haven't
than
really
1,000.
seen it land, yeah.
I mean, just low enough so when this thing gets off, it can just step off instead of, fall out of the sky. I'm worried
Where's
for.
your sense of adventure?
All right, let's go for it.
So question, how many charges does the staff have left?
It has 15 out of 1.
Okay.
And pretty much the charges are for the innate spells, and it's like 1 charge per level, so it's like a 5th level spell. At 5.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me. Yeah, this is going to be a. Yeah, it would be a wisdom save because it's your will against theirs.
Would bless help?
It's a save, so yeah.
All right, I'll put bless on us.
Thank you.
On me and you, and then passion. Oh, on the creature.
Well, you're not a paladin. I was about to say, wait, do I get to add your aura to my save?
I ain't got that.
Let's see. Okay, so wisdom save. Plus the d4. Grab that. Oh ho ho. Oh, that sucks. 18.
Okay.
So terrible. Just re-roll. Oh, I mean your character. That was a joke, but
I like to spend a
didn't fit
command
in.
point to reroll. Oh wait. Okay.
Use your willpower to.
I did have that thing that I haven't taken away. The thing where you can
Yeah, I would
add a
definitely.
D10 thing.
I would definitely like to.
Okay.
What? Oh.
Where's my D?
We got,
The
one
hero
re-roll.
point.
Right. It's been so long.
Does D10 not come with the set? This is the Witchlight Carnival dice set I'm using. Okay, I guess I'll use the D100 just treat it like a D10. Okay, that makes it a 22.
Okay. So, Gruk, you've reached out with your fragmented piecemeal hand and touch this creature, and you feel that same rush of the hot and cold pinpricks all over you of corruption. And focusing on the creature and the staff, you feel this surge of energy. And the staff has 11 charges reduced from it. But with that surge of energy, you gain this instant awareness of, you instantly know where everyone on the ship is, including the people that are not in this room that you can't see.
I like to think Gruk's eyes look like Star-Lord's in the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. And
The white barrier looked like that.
the golem sort of steps back and like flexes its fingers and reaches out, and its hand can now pass through the door.
I give it a high five.
It
It doesn't really know what to do.
Gruk, his not fractured hand, just like gently pulls up the arm to do the high five. That's called a high five.
It's a success
Not
thing.
very high. Oh, okay.
That means we succeeded.
You're free.
Well, what do I do now?
What do you want? It just is like, kill you all. We just die.
Can you eat? Probably not.
What is eating?
That's something needed for their for your build.
Okay, well then I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, you guys know that from what you guys have seen at least, most corrupted creatures either can go for a long time without food or don't need it at all, considering of all of the corrupted creatures that you guys have encountered over the last 6 months and defeated, none of them have any rations or anything on them. And for the handful that have been captured by the warriors of El Diablo, none have ever like died of starvation in captivity or shown any interest in food when offered.
Well, I think the first step is seeing what's outside the door with your own.
Do you have a name?
I was just called Ship. But I am not that anymore. He is the ship and looks at Gruk.
Can I? Do I still have that central awareness?
Mm-hmm. And you, thinking about it, you feel like you could move the ship.
I attempt to put my hand outside. I can't.
You cannot.
Sweet.
Gruk goes over to the pedestal and sits down on it like he did earlier.
Sitting down, you actually feel a bit more of that strange awareness extend to the point where you almost have a visual of what it looks like around you. Like you can't see it, but you know that far below you is a forest, and flying far above you, a couple of several hundred feet above where you are, is a flock of birds.
So I've turned into the helm for the spell.
It seems. At least for a while. You're not sure how long something like this will last, especially if this creature says that Ka can send it back where it came from when he's done with it. But meanwhile, the ship is sort of, or the golem is sort of walking down the hall, just touching everything, and gets out to the top deck and just like freezes in place, staring out.
Was anyone else left on top of the deck? Like on our team? Like, was Demona still up there? I didn't know if everyone came down.
I didn't get a chance to say it, but no, I came down with the rest of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Onyx too. So
I would have
see
run
this.
up and
Yeah.
warned everyone that this is not an enemy yet. I mean, anymore.
The golem's like outside, and it's like, wow, that's a really high.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange experience because this creature has no understanding of what they're looking at. Gruk is now seeing The extent of their awareness is a couple 100 feet beyond the ship. And each just dumbstruck, staring out at the world beyond. What do you guys want to do?
I'll stay here for now. Seems like I can't leave anyway.
This ship was heading outside of the zone around the city.
It was, yes. It was heading outside of the degradation zone.
Is there anywhere you guys would like the ship to go instead?
Is it the only ship around, or is there more of the Armada around?
At the moment, this was the only one that you guys saw that broke through.
Okay. We should probably contact the Knights and say that this ship is ours now and they shouldn't just shoot it down.
That might be helpful.
So we would do that if we had, radios, I guess?
Yeah, let's say you guys have...
Yeah, I mean, we have cell phones. There's probably radios, too.
Or fancy
you have the
stones.
equivalent.
That's some weird Naruto situation.
Yeah, because Naruto does have that.
so they're-
stuff.
Yeah, it's inconsistent.
So which of you are sending this message back?
Well, I would think that Demona would, just because she's like the one who's in charge of groups of people that go on missions.
Okay.
And she might be like the liaison to the people who ostensibly hired her and us.
When she gets back, we will.
If you want a name for the ship, I think the Emerald Raven.
You're the ship, you get to name it.
Yeah, and you could even change it whenever you feel flighty about it, like other people do of other things.
Cyberus, was that a pun?
No?
Raises an eyebrow and just drunk.
Well,
So, where are
We
you
should
taking
probably-
the ship?
it's a good question.
I bring it back towards the city.
Okay.
But I'm going nice and slow, trying to look as not threatening as possible.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
These ships are designed to be
Pretty much, I
incredibly
don't-
ominous looking, but yeah.
I don't like beeline towards the city.
Do we have a Demon
slowly-
Dog's flag we could put up?
Demona just pulls out like a t-shirt. Yeah.
I mean, we have t-shirts of other kinds.
If we're flying anywhere that would be detectable by the guild, it would flag for any type of IFF we've got.
Yeah, the thing is like this ship doesn't have that sort of technology. You did have a helicopter with you though, so I will say you guys could radio the helicopter and let them know. Saege was also discussed that asked if you wanted to radio back to the city to let them know that not to shoot this particular black ship out of the sky, please.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can let them have the Pequod fly in front like an escort so they don't shoot us down.
Very good.
Gruk just got. Okay, he's like. Actually, this. If we're gonna have this be part of Demon Dogs, maybe D ship. It's a D ship. Get it?
No.
What?
You say like D instead of the or the.
It's the ship.
It's a D ship.
I both love it and hate it at the same time.
Okay, well,
Sounds like a yes from Big Boss.
that's who matters. I mean, if we could figure out a way to break the connection of a ship from Ka, then we could break all the ships from Ka.
I'm pretty sure we have, but maybe now I'm gonna have to fight for control. Comes to
Do we know if this thing has like great weapon capabilities that would be useful against Ka and whoever's around him at the time? If we could
as
not
soon
be
as-
dissolved.
As soon as Cyberus mentions that you get the Gruk, you get that same awareness of that sort of like light bulb moment and revelation that you get when you finally figure out how to activate a new level spell of you know how to access the weapons of this ship.
There's quite a few weapons here.
There's a typical one that can just like do fire damage, which is effectively like a pretty high level fireball. It has the ability to spontaneously corrupt areas around it, which you guys have seen many times. That's typically the thing that they lead with.
I doubt you have this, but maybe you're gonna have DM homework of the stats for the ship.
Maybe. I mean, I've done a couple of I made a couple of vehicles before and had fun with it. So, but you do know that if you get closer to where Ka is with this ship, there is a good chance that you won't be able to keep it.
The weapons here could be useful, but the main problem is pretty sure Ka will take control before we can use them again.
I am curious if he would know that he doesn't have control. I guess he could see it and feel that it's not like an extension of him at the time. I'm not sure how that works.
I assume he attunes to it like we do with many magic items. That is only an assumption. Corruption functions very differently from how reality.
Well, I don't really have any ideas or plans for what to do with it. I'm not a military leader.
Where's everyone else on the ship since we're in the consensus?
I think all of you guys are together. Because everybody followed you down there and nobody followed the golem back up to the top deck.
Where's the golem?
He's out on the top deck, just staring transfixed.
Is he at the front and he's just T-posing?
No, he's literally like he got to the top of the stairs and is just holding onto the railing, staring. He hasn't budged. It's literally he is seeing the world for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't go mad.
It'll be fine.
It's almost like it now seen to the fourth dimension, you know?
Or like those videos of babies that get glasses for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy shit, trees have leaves. What the fuck?
That happened to me. We sort of need to come up with a plan here. Do we want to try to assault anything while we have it, or just hold on to it and make plans from there?
Well, we did what we came here to do.
Yeah, we mission successful.
Should head back to base?
Yeah.
I start flying back to base.
Okay.
When you say the base, do you mean our apartment or like the Knight's headquarters?
D-ship.
Oh, that base.
Yeah. So as you guys are flying back there,
50 anti-air cannons fire. Brooke, give me 50.
Oh, that's
a
neat
nice
thing.
have... Where the fuck is my D100?
Oh, that's how much damage?
You actually look for 2 dice when you want to do that. That's a cool looking image.
I don't know what you guys are looking at.
On Discord?
The golem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's cool as shit. Yeah. So as you guys are flying in that direction, you are getting close to the point where you know that you've now gone into the city limits and will very quickly be at the demon dog's base. When all of you hear and then see the thunderous sound of this large size golem made out of stone come thundering down the stairs towards you guys, and looks to you, Gruk, and says, Ka is near. Veer that way. And if you guys look up, looking out, you can see that there is another fleet of these ships that is attacking a neighborhood that's like, it's far enough away that you guys are basically out of any kind of range, really. But because you are several 100 feet in the air, you can see it really well. And you do see a single pale-skinned, armored humanoid that's far larger than they should be, standing on the bow of one of these ships.
Get him.
Yeah, how far away is he? That?
I think it is time for our grand strategy plan of get him.
Lawless
the
plan.
Joan of Arc strategy. I get it.
It worked for the Ghostbusters.
It didn't work for Scotty's one shot.
Worked for Joan of Arc, so
yeah, exactly.
Can Gruk's weapons launch Onyx that far? Based on the name, I think that would be a good idea.
They're not weapons as such. It's more of like
they're not
it's more
cannon,
like a spell. Yeah, it's not a weapon. It's more of a spell, effectively.
Could it be like a level 9 catapult spell? Can target a player?
No, that's not what it does.
Onyx could take half that
doesn't
damage,
hurt to ask.
but that will still really hurt Onyx. If I cast a 9th level catapult on Onyx.
That would be
but we could
hilarious,
do like
though.
all sorts of damage reductions.
I feel like that is the way Onyx would want to die.
So,
hurtle at ridiculous speeds at an enemy.
What is Gruk doing? Gruk is in control of the ship.
What do you guys want to do?
How big's that other fleet? Is it just one big ship, or is it like
no, it's like 5 of them.
Well, I wonder how many of those we could take out before they knew we were bad.
Probably none.
It took a lot for us to
probably take control of the ship before we get close.
They will probably recognize that it is no longer under my control very quickly.
Well, it took all we had to take this one ship, so I don't know if we could take 5 of them. Is there any
retreat? Try again another day? Yes, that's a thing that overversers do. Yes.
Is there any sign that like the knights are trying to defend the neighborhood?
Oh yeah, like there are like it's not like this neighborhood is completely undefended. There are people fighting, but it's definitely this is going to be one of the tougher battles that has been around. It's not that common that the ships congregate on one area. You can see that there is the neighborhood that is going after.
No, not the
squirrel.
No.
Oh, those animals.
No, remember the squirrel? Play bingo. The bingo addiction.
Yeah, in the animal district, right?
Yeah. I think his name was Kevin.
The neighborhood that they're going after is the one named Voodoo, that is known for it's much more popular with those that have a bit more of a necromantic persuasion, that look a bit more skeletonish. They're known for their bright colors and loud, obnoxious parties, and basically the type to live life as loud as possible. And it looks like it's a combination of the knights there, the Knights Maleficents, as well as the warriors that are from that neighborhood itself. They all have armor that is painted the brightest, gaudiest colors possible.
Yeah.
Do I feel like I can cast spells through the ship?
For the moment, yeah.
Like my own spells, not just the ship's.
Your spells, no. Not only the ship spells.
Okay.
It's very far, isn't it?
The golem?
It is. It's the range that you guys are at right now is probably like over 1,000. Like you guys could see this from plenty away. You guys might not even see this from a couple of miles away.
So I know,
but also
I know about the golem's spell absorption, right?
Yes.
I tell the golem, absorb this and fire it at the pod. And
interesting.
Unless
I was gonna say, like, Ka is currently sort of like out of position technically, right? He's
Yeah,
not like under the eye where he's probably best protected. So if we do want to take him out, now is the chance.
So, like, the area where you guys are, it's not... Yeah, I could see.
Hey, it's the squirrel.
He doesn't stay directly under the eye. It's more of, like, stays within the general area. He's not probably as close to it as he would like, because you guys aren't exactly, like, center of the city. But it's not like he's exceptionally far from it. Though the golem does tell you that the spells that I absorb, it's more of a short area around me. It's typically better used in a group. I won't be able to affect him at all unless I can get over there and get very close.
We don't know if there's like a range of how far away the ship can be before he can make it dissolve, right?
You're not sure what that range would be.
Probably not gonna be able to do much before it knows we're bad. We might have to do something else. I guess we could fly way above it and then drop down on it again.
You do know that, like, the neighborhood that he's at is far enough away that if you were to maybe get low in the city, you might be able to skirt away from his vision so that he wouldn't be able to see you.
Oh, that's good.
That's where I start doing by default.
Okay.
Just like that Monty Python thing.
While everyone else is thinking. Because Gruk is not the battle plan.
At this rate where you are, you guys can see it. Anybody on the deck can see people fucking scatter, because these things typically do not come close to the ground level. They stay pretty high up.
And any defense from the city coming yet?
Because you have the helicopter in front of you, no. And at this point, you guys all feel that same familiar voice of Walking Nirvana, who had been coordinating the all of the tactics in the city. Now that you guys are within the city proper, can hear him again. What is your plan here, Gruk?
That's Walking Nirvana? Or is that...
It sounds like Walking Nirvana.
You figured out how to control one of
them.
Would you like to give it a test? Or would that be too much of a focus for you?
Are you giving me permission?
Well, that's so nice of you. Yes, I'm giving you permission.
Gruk, you get that same strange, familiar feeling that you had the first time, where it almost feels like you're a passenger sort of riding behind, just sort of watching. You lose that connection of the awareness of what's happening in the ship and outside of the ship, but you can still see your friends in the room with you and see your body reach out and touch the ship. And the rest of you see Gruk's eyes sort of change, and that same like green code appear in his eyes for a second before there's a swirl of like a halo of it around his head. And the ship like shudders and starts going a lot faster. Sort of zipping through the streets.
So I'm having like an out-of-body experience where I'm not in control of my own body, right?
Yeah, sort of like you can see everything that's happening, but you're not in control of your actual body at the second. So you can hear and see everything that you can see, but you can't talk or do much at the second.
Can I try to talk
other than talking to him?
Yeah, I try to talk to Walking Nirvana. I like to think it's the equivalent of like I'm floating in my own head, but he's controlling the body.
Yeah.
And I explained to him what the Golem explained, that this was made by the Neverborn, and stuff from Dark Radix is like the only kind of magics that can control it. So I think only the lords and ladies and my staff would be able to modify.
You mentioned the like something from there, and your whole body like actually sits back to like look down at yourself, like, and Gruk, what do you have of a Neverborn? And sort of like looks at all of your accoutrement and then looks at the staff.
Might be a key of helping us win this war. They call it Project Void.
Clever name.
Not the first idea. Yes.
So, and at this point, all of you guys can hear
Is it moving
at
faster
least
towards that fleet, or is it?
No, it's sort of just zipping through the streets. It's sort of like basically doing a parallel, like it's staying the same equal distance away from where Ka is. Sort of like he's taking it for a test drive. Like it's going quite fast to the point where it actually starts to outpace the helicopter and just keeps going.
Does he do a barrel? Please tell me he doesn't.
No. But all of you guys can hear Walking Nirvana's voice. You don't hear Gruk's side of the conversation, but you can hear him. So the group of you have obtained this new asset. What do you plan to do with it?
Keep asking us that question.
Only Walking Nirvana would hear this, I guess. But I said, if we need to, close the rift.
I don't know that this could do that.
It could help.
Could. But there are other threats beyond the ones of the Black Fleet. You've talked of a tyrant.
Could be used against him.
Could.
That was the original plan before the Black Fleet.
You've mentioned that. Yes, you are buzzing the tower of the neighborhood. Like the entire, like buildings are shaking. This thing is not built to get as close to these buildings as you guys are, but
Somebody hits the horn.
Walking Nirvana does not care. He says, you've mentioned this individual has a domain outside of this realm. Yes?
Does that feel like it's directed to me or
to the group? To the group of you, basically.
Oh, can we hear him?
Yeah, you guys can all hear. You can hear his. You can hear Walking Nirvana as part of this conversation. You just can't hear Grux unless you're. You can't hear Grux.
This is a great idea that we should have had already. We were so focused on what's in front of us, we forgot what's behind us. The Twilight Citadel, I think, is where we should go with this thing now. Possibly. That's that place that we think the tyrant might be.
It would be far away from the reach of Ka. He wouldn't be able to retake the ship from you.
It might protect us from the hellish realm it resides in as well.
Perhaps.
do you think that would be wise? Walking Nirvana.
Oh, yeah.
I think it could be. You've managed to take down the one that slipped through the cracks and given us time to make sure that no others do. Perhaps it's time to deal with another threat. The one that released this threat to us. If you take out the tyrant, then perhaps that will make dealing with this much easier.
We should have thought of that.
I won't actually dialogue this part, but Gruk would explain what he did to control the ship, the Walking Nirvana, and then after he finishes explaining, he's like, "This information might be useful for future endeavors." Though Ka still be a main.
I am intrigued. I don't know that... Gruk, I don't know that you're aware, but the staff that you're carrying is very unique. I don't know that anything else in the city could control it.
Not even you?
myself included. We are not. We came from the eye, but we are not of the eye. The lords and ladies. That staff is of the eye. Rip. We lost Vex.
Yeah, Vex's internet's not been great with her.
I think it's her computer. Her computer keeps dying every now and then.
Probably cold up there in the frozen north.
Yeah.
All the electrons got to stop.
Gruk is, I guess, speechless. He's walking around his right. He did not realize how unique this. So, I would definitely keep that in mind.
Jesus. I just looked back at the date that Luke just put in the chat.
Yeah, it was a long time ago when we got all this information.
Thank you for
Yeah.
writing that.
Yeah, and we got all of it. We got a bunch of stuff all at once because we went to the library. So some of it's related to Twilight Citadel, some of it's related to Demona's thing. There's some proper names, some fire, scary stuff going on. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out exactly which of it is related directly to the Twilight Citadel, but I did write down Faraday hamster cage because there's lightning involved. But we might be safe in the ship from that. But it's somewhere between the grid and the oververse, like on the boundary, the abyss. That's the intersection.
Then
Or it's in the
hit that.
grid. Yeah, I don't know if that's even in a direction.
Yeah, you know that to do something like that would be plane shift.
Yes.
Gruk doesn't know such a spell. At least not today.
And I wonder if you could plane shift a whole ship.
I mean,
If I am the ship.
That's maybe you and the whole ship count as a creature.
Won't know until we
Otherwise,
try.
maybe some sort of
I will say Gruk has awareness of what the ship can do. You feel certain if you were to cast plane shift, you would take the ship with you. You still wouldn't be able to leave the room, but you and the ship would go to the planes.
Mhm.
that's good first step
Oh,
to know that.
I'm trying to remember what they're called. Side Tangent
Drow.
is like 2nd edition. But there are ships made in the lower plane that are like sentient demon ships that are used specifically for traveling through the lower plane. Like on the river Styx and stuff, and they fly.
Well,
anyway,
my bell is unrung. Doesn't sound familiar to me.
they look kind of like the final ship boss in Kingdom Hearts 1. Has any idea what that? Big fleshy ship.
Oh yeah, there's some cool stuff in that. Those ship monsters.
But anyway, I would not be able to do it today. Demona, do you have plane shift in your spells?
Don't think that's something I ever picked up.
Perhaps one of the lords and ladies could, or like someone in the Knights Corps.
Regardless, we need to get away from return to battle.
Yeah. I agree.
You guys hear
We'll retreat
Walking
for now.
Nirvana again. If you would like to retreat and find a place to rest, we can try and keep their forces averted from wherever you would like to rest your ship.
His favor greatly.
What type of? I'm sorry, I cannot
You're
talk
fine.
for shit. What type of spell is plane shift?
I think it's 7th level.
No, what type?
Oh,
Transmutation, I'm sure.
Okay, would
Transmutation or conjuration?
It's conjuration.
it's his conjuration, 7th level.
so there's another wizard that Demona knows of, Basil Basur,
Mhm.
would he happen to have that in his repertoire? He's mostly a divination and abjuration mage, but he is a valued resource to the demon dogs. So
Yeah, I'll say he would have it. And I think you actually did recruit him when during that 6-month break when things were going to shit. All right, you had talked about it at least. If you
yeah, I wanted
give him
to
a call,
recruit
he
him.
may So do you want to call him or do you guys want to try and find a place to rest first instead?
I think we should try to find a place to rest.
We could do both because we would need to get his help later anyways.
Yes.
I mean, trying to do it for a whole ship would probably take some preparation time, so we could contact him while we're looking for a place to rest.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
So,
Godspeed, walking Darvon.
you as well. So you guys can find a spot to rest that's not too far away from the Demon Dogs headquarters, but in a sort of mostly abandoned district that had a couple of those like big warehouse things where Gruk can set the ship down.
All right, as I set the ship down, I get up off the pedestal, but I'm still in the.
And you can, and now that you're on the ground, you can actually feel a little bit further out. Like you can sense the buildings around you and movement of creatures inside those buildings.
It sounds like we're going to have a little bit of time before we go through this. So since you can't leave, Gruk, do you need any supplies or anything specific? Like I'm going to go out and grab some stuff for us on the front of the trip.
I wanted to try something. I look
Okay.
out into the hallway. Mention door.
Okay. Make a.
Because I think this probably will hurt, or it will work. One or the other. And since we haven't been hurt yet, I'm willing to risk.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Yay! Scott, how many characters have you had die?
Remember that time Gruk first tried to read?
Oh, that was fun. Oh, that was so fun. I got 30 total then. This time I
What
actually
the fuck?
got a nat 20.
God damn.
Screw it.
Jesus.
I
Yeah,
just rolled really shitty last time.
sure did. Okay. So, because you passed flying fucking colors, you do get hit with a backlash of energy, and take 30 points of psychic damage.
15. Cool.
Fuck.
That's the reason why I was risking it.
As it's the strangest feeling. It feels almost like you're trying to step out, and the moment that you step out, you actually you complete and cast the spell and appear for a second there before you were violently yanked back, and it feels almost like something is holding on to every part of your body, every single one of your little hairs pulling. It's unpleasant, and there is definitely a very strong tether holding you to this thing, and you can feel like it's a force of will there.
Oh, okay. Guess I am here for a bit. Say a triangle sandwich would be nice. Maybe roast beef.
Triangle sandwich?
Yeah, you get a sandwich and you
Cut in
cut it into a
triangles?
triangle. You don't
What?
use triangle sandwiches.
It's weird that you would you would name it based on the shape that you cut it into.
It's weird that Gruk knows what those are.
Guys, it's been
Illiterate. He knows
it's
shapes.
been
No, I don't mean the shape of it. I'm just
if there's one thing I know, it's food. Especially before everything we've
But I figured Gruk would just have one big sandwich and just eat that whole thing like a snake. Just,
You think he'd be used to having a
Yeah,
giant
but
frog
he's-
mouth that
I
opens up
imagine-
like this? And
He's
just a
lived with
huge thing.
Cyberus for like 9 months. He knows what food
Cyberus is also
good
a
food
whole
now is.
sandwich kind of guy.
Yeah, don't
Gruk
no
would eat the
no half
whole-
sandwiches here.
Gruk would eat the whole loaf of bread. Just like
Gruk, no, Hera. That's
Oh,
a
one
very
bite,
specific
just,
sandwich. That's called a bread sandwich. You got one side of the loaf, and then you got the other side of the loaf. Bread sandwich.
Anyway, I'm sorry. My it's Ohioan, I guess. Local delis they
No, I
they
know-
sell them as triangle sandwiches. Like they're
I know
labeled as
exactly what
that.
you're talking about.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
never heard it use the name. I know what they are. I
Like-
guess.
Scotty, are they like the half the sandwich? Like they're cut like, but more or less like cut
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, it's diagonal
like,
cut,
on it.
just
Yeah.
sandwich.
Because I know two different kinds of triangle sandwich. The one where it's like half the bread, and then the other where they're cut into like the smaller triangles, and you get 3 from a slice and a rounded triangle.
Yeah, I've
Unless you
seen
get the
both.
perfectly square bread.
Anyway, so I guess
I'll
I'm gonna
put that
be,
on my list. Yeah, so I don't know how long we're going to be here, but Cyberus is going to go get like food and supplies that we'll need for our trip,
Okay.
including all sorts of like food and things. I don't think there's anything we could do that would protect us specifically from where we're going. Although one of the notes that was in the book said that there was, in addition to lightning bolts, animated objects that were a problem. So I don't know what kind of preparation we need to get ready for that, but everyone keep that in mind if you have anything. Those should probably be taken down by Dispel Magic, so perhaps that would be the best idea.
Would also like to gather a few mercs to use as deckhands for
Oh, good idea.
the guns and any type of navigation or repairing assistance. I've-
For what it's worth, to clarify, when the Gug mentioned the gunner, he was talking about this golem. They refer to the gunner and the ship as the same individual because they don't really know,
so we don't
Please
need the
don't-
crew.
That's his name.
not as much. It doesn't.
Unless we
What
get
does
like
Gunner
boarded or
do?
something.
Gunner's his name now. What does Gunner do?
What about Gunny? Gunny's usually what gunner
Ah.
sergeants are called.
Gunny.
I love
His name's
it.
Gunny.
Yeah, as soon as like you land, he's just like looking at everything. It is now like now that you guys aren't like on constantly moving, he's like going around to the edges of the railing and just like trying to reach out and touch the buildings and stuff.
I like to think it's. I don't know how many of you have actually been on ships before, but when you get on land, it feels so weirdly stiff when your feet are on land. So I like to think he's just like that feeling is very.
Yeah, he hasn't left the deck of the ship yet. It seems like he's not aware that he can.
Yeah, but it's like not moving
Or how to get
anymore,
down.
So it's like
Yeah.
oddly very still.
If we're gonna be a ship crew, what kind of hats does everybody want? I'm gonna get a Napoleon hat.
We had this exact same fucking conversation in Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Yes, actually.
People on ships, you need hats.
It's true.
Otherwise,
Clash
people
with
won't
my
know
style.
that's how you belong there.
Does Axel have a tricorn hat, or is it just captain hat?
I think it
Axel
was
and Jeanette, or Katie,
I
both
think they were
have it.
fighting over it. I don't know if they actually got it.
I thought somebody
Katie
made,
got
like,
it
a paper hat.
originally. Katie, no, that's right. Axel got it originally. Katie made a paper hat, and then I think she got another tricorn hat for one of the next ships that we ended up fighting.
So
Gruk suggests a hat, and for those of you that know Dark Souls, I just suggest Lucitil's hat for the captain. The Mira lady. The
If you
crazy
text
musketeer
Cyberus a
hat.
picture of the hat, he'll look for it at the haberdasher.
Yeah,
Did you say Bloodborne or Dark Souls?
Dark Souls 2. Lucitil.
I thought you said Bloodborne. My brain is frying.
They're the same.
No, they're
I'm
not.
gonna put it in the
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Well, for those that don't know,
Oh,
I mean, in
right.
my mind, they're the same.
I like the concept art
So-
better. 'Cause it's always better.
I'm gonna ask Gunny what
Uh,
kind of hat he wants.
We know what. He just kind of like looks at you and it's like, "What is a hat?"
Do you like green because you are green, or do you want something like flashy? The opposite of green is orange. That's purple. Green's red.
Different would be nice.
All right, I'll get you some cool stuff.
Are any of the rest of you leaving the ship, or are you gonna try and find your rest here?
Gruk originally cast smelled with stone, and he's now part of the pedestal.
Yep, that tracks.
We lost him again.
And he's gone.
He is the ship.
How do you defeat the helm when the helm is there?
Orbital strike. Take out the ship.
To be fair, that's the spell I was going to give the construct to use, but apparently that won't work. Anyway.
So Demona would definitely go back to the guild to take care of some outstanding business as well as contact her wizard friend.
What about Onyx and Passion? You guys doing anything?
Not really. I don't have anything really in mind.
Okay.
You want to bring any of your special suicide squad on the grid attack? Any of them good at like grid stuff?
Nah, maybe. No, probably not. Because all of the like white collar criminals and everything had already been shipped away from the prison.
Oh.
It was literally only left the people who were like, yeah, they're not worth saving. Those were
Yeah,
the
what-
people
It wasn't
that are left
necessarily. It wasn't necessarily that they weren't worth saving. It was just that they hadn't gotten to them yet because you
I mean, like-
showed up there late.
Hold on. You literally
within
said they
hours.
left them there because they didn't want to release them because they were too dangerous to release to society. Those are your exact words,
Yeah.
Kat.
So
Don't
that
even
rope
change
guy
this.
Well,
from the movie.
Doesn't
rope guys are good
necessarily
on
mean they
boats.
just left them there to die. There were.
They absolutely left them there to die.
Cyberus.
You're trying to
Cyberus-
backtrack this shit, Kat. Nice try.
Cyberus and I were thinking going to the same wavelength here with the Suicide Squad. Is there a guy
Yeah.
that's really good with ropes? He could be useful on the ship.
I'll say like that was the biggest prison in the city.
As long as he doesn't blow his head off.
Any kind of person or class you can imagine probably has somebody there that can do it. Like they're not going to have any like level 20 wizards or fighters, but they have some pretty decent warriors and whatnot.
And of course, we do need a cool flag for the top of the ship.
Demona probably already has that.
So Demona, you give Basil a call. Yeah.
Oh, please don't make me roleplay this right now.
Okay.
God damn.
You're fine.
Actually, Passion did have one other thing. We had talked about this. We haven't really had the chance to. Has the Predator responded to anything we've sent to him?
So
Requested that, like, tried to get a contact with him a bunch.
yeah, so the butler, whose name I cannot remember. There we go. Harold Graves, he had mentioned that he did send you guys like an inventory list of who all was still there, and did offer to help transport some of these individuals to you to aid in the fight. But he has mentioned that he has not heard from David, and he says I haven't heard from him, and my best guess is he's probably deliberately avoiding you, considering you're kind of working against his bosses. So
Probably. All right. Well, I was hoping to get in contact because I have something that might have interested him.
like what?
A way for him to die.
Dum dum dum.
Oh yeah, he wants that.
You just can like hear the confused express. I'll let him know.
Tell him if he's interested. If you get in contact with him, tell him if he's interested to contact us,
Will do.
and then she'll hang up.
Okay. And I'll say, Sage, since you're feeling out of it, Basil does agree and says, well, I mean, if it helps save the rest of this ridiculous world. I suppose I can help. I may have a couple of scrolls that could be useful. I'll meet you at your club then. I can teleport there, or I can meet you elsewhere if you have something else in mind.
I have to give him the coordinates for the warehouses where the fucking ship is docked right now.
Okay.
I like to think since the ship's not built to land, and you said it's like a 1800s, 1700 ship, it's actually not like perfectly up like this, like on its side, a little bit.
It's the weirdest thing. So like if Gruk wanted, it could be perfectly straight up and down. It doesn't abide by the laws of physics, really.
Okay, then that's how it is.
How
do people get in?
Or gameplay.
That's a good question.
Do I feel like I can conjure a rope ladder or something?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, you can
Or like
effectively
an inflatable ramp appears.
Does this thing have like masts?
It does have masts.
Okay.
They are very damaged and burned
Think
from
like
the wall of fire and the
Right, they got all fucked up.
Think like the Flying Dutchman, but not Ghost.
Basically, yeah, it's very much like the image of a haunted ship. But yeah, Gruk is able to locate a rope ladder that you can let down, and or I believe most of you have jetpacks. Okay, so I'll say that given a couple of hours, you do get a crew from the demon dogs that approach and start to do the repairs as best they can on the ship's sails and the various bits of the deck that have been nicked to shit from the wall blades and the fire. And the group of you, because I think the only person that's ever actually met Basil was Demona. See this individual approaching. He's a dark-skinned man wearing a black suit and like a black trench coat, bright red hair, and a little like artful red tie, like the sort of loose bow ties. Sort of approaches the group of you, or the side of the ship, and just looks up. So this is new.
No one.
Oh.
Really.
He's assuming that. Well, I'm not there. I'm out shopping.
Yeah, and if none of you really address him, he's going to start climbing up the ladder. And you, Gruk, you can sense this individual as soon as they come close enough to touch the ladder.
Have I met Basil?
No, none of you have. I will say,
Okay,
it would
the
make
ladder
sense that Demona would
disappears.
tell you. It would make sense that Demona would tell you that they're coming, though.
Okay. Can I talk through the ship? Probably not. I doubt it.
No.
I just keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
You know, I've been pretty bored for a few hours.
Those old ships have those big tubes you can yell into that makes a sound come out of their parts.
All crew on forward deck.
Yeah.
Not this one though. It's magic.
Oh, we'll have to put that in later.
Yeah, but the group of you see this individual come up over the side of the deck, and he immediately like sees the golem and just sort of gives a start, like hand raised. But when the golem doesn't react or anything,
He goes for a high five.
he does.
That's what we
yeah.
taught him.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
he,
he's
like,
freaking what's his name from Big Hero 6?
Yes.
Hey, Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
Vega.
he's our Baymax.
And Basil just sort of, all right. I'm looking for Demona or anyone else in charge here. He says this to the golem. Or any of the rest of you on deck, do you think?
If we were waiting for him, Demona would probably be standing at what would normally be the captain or the wheel
Okay.
in the back.
He sort of sees you and gives a nod. So, this is... I'll be honest, I'm not sure what I expected, but this wasn't it. Sort of approaches looking over the ship. So, how corrupted am I standing on this thing, huh?
I can't do the voice right now.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna take that as very. Do the group of you want to cluster up and look at some of the goods that I brought, or?
She would probably explain that Gruk is kind of trapped down below.
I mean, I could try to get him out. I mean, trapped how? Like,
Tried to dimension door and couldn't. He's stuck in there as he controls the ship.
oh. Okay, that's unique.
Okay,
Not
please,
seen
please,
that.
please let me say that we're calling the ship the Unique, please.
And he'll head down the hallway. And Gruk, you can definitely sense this individual approaching and get a good look at them.
I open the door.
He sort of... I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about entering Del Diablo for the first time in years. It's kind of making it worth it. It's like looking at these fractals, and then how does Gruk emerge from the stone if he does?
Like a fucking vampire.
Just head first in the eyes.
You know, like the what is it? The warlock, like Tomb of Levistus or whatever, where you like
just
fall backwards. It's the opposite direction. So I'm just
Yeah.
Reverse planking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Greetings. You must be Basil.
Yes, I am Bazil Vasur.
Goes over to the edge of the pedestal and like sits down with feet hanging off the edge of it.
So I hear that you can't leave.
Yeah,
Is it a curse, do you think?
A
Or
little bit of a complication. I think it's something to do with me being attuned to this shit.
So it's like a magic item, or
Definitely something more.
have you tried identifying it?
I use the old magics. I'm not very good with arcane. You could if you want. I don't mind. We only got
do
this
that.
today. So the more we know about it, the better.
It's fair. Do you have any other spellcasters on board? I brought a couple of gifts, and he like opens up his coat, and you can see in the inner pocket are like a row of several different scrolls.
I know Ashen can cast spells, but not in the most conventional way. More in the Henshin kind of way. And Cyberus is a De-Fragger. Onyx casts spells in her own way, but it's more like she punches really hard.
What kind of spells do you need? Or do you have?
Well,
Oh, hey, Passion.
Hi.
I
Passion just appears.
brought a scroll
here to
of
begin
plane
with.
shift. I only have the one though, so I could get us there or I could get us back, but not both.
Well,
After a
I
long
don't
rest,
have-
I can get us back.
I'm looking at my stuff to see what I can learn. I think I can literally only learn like half my warlock level, half my warlock levels.
Yep.
So I can learn I can learn level 7 spells. I just realized this, but it has to be ritual only.
Yeah,
Which I
plane
don't
shift
think
is not a
plane-
ritual.
Ooh, let me.
No.
I'll look them up for you.
I literally just realized that I can learn a level 7 because it's rounded up.
I look up ritual only spells at 7th level. See what comes up.
Because I have a few.
Well, let's see. So I have
There are none at 7th level.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no.
No, they very much go like,
Let's see.
it's weird.
Oh, there's a few 6th level ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like instant summons and forbiddens, but forbiddens is clerical.
So I do have this one that's kind of fun, can be a lot if you're not prepared for it. Can let you speak to one another without using your voice.
Fairy's telepathic bond. I already have that. That is one of the few I actually have. So, Kat, I can just read you out my spells. I got Rarity's Passive Bond, Contact Other Plane, Water Breathing, Magic Mouth, Unseen Servant, Illusory Script, Identify, Find Familiar, Comprehend Languages, and Alarm. That was from, I don't even remember where I got those from, but I got them from somewhere.
I don't remember. I know that
It was the wizard from that we met in when we were out in public, when we saved the one place.
Oh,
that doesn't help.
I'm trying to remember what it was. Los Angeles and stuff.
Mm.
There, I believe, is where I learned it from. Because we met that one wizard who knew Demona's Demona. Or was in relation to Demona or something like that.
So I have one here. I don't know if this would be safe to use in the realm of corruption. It might be quite dangerous, though that's not where we're going. Yes, we're going to the plains. And lets you see things as they truly are. True seeing.
That could be very helpful.
Scrying. Another that reminds me a bit of the what was it? Punching wizard? Although I don't know it'd be
Onyx.
much use. Stone skin.
How long does Stone
I think
Skin
she
last?
already has.
1 hour.
I think she already has stones. I don't know. It's hard to tell. When she gets hit, it doesn't seem to really affect her.
I mean, hey, if we have the time, I'd happily learn whatever you have. And I will happily pay you for it.
I could see about that. I'll see what I have if there's anything else that you might need to copy from my book. But of the scrolls that I brought, let's see. Let me actually list them out. And then, so we're plane shifting. Where are we going?
You're going to the Twilight.
Right. And that is, what do you hope to find there?
Trouble.
I don't know what I was expecting.
We
Cyberus isn't there. He'd be telling the
we
truth.
were looking to.
Passion is telling the truth. Trouble.
We believe the tyrant is there. You know.
Oh. All right. I can't say that that's exactly what I was anticipating, but if you
Someone's
guys,
got to.
yeah, if you guys think you can pull it off, I'll back you.
We have the method. We have the means. No reason not to.
So here are the scrolls he has, and I'll say that while he's having this conversation, because I did say it took a couple hours for him to get here, because he had to like prepare the shit. Cyberus, you can return.
All right. He comes in with a lot of bags, and other people carrying bags as well. There's plenty of everything we need just in case, because I don't know where we're going. But I put the list up there. So like anything we need for camping or climbing or like medical stuff, lots and lots of food and food related equipment.
Oh,
And a karaoke machine also.
oh, thank goodness I'm starved. He like grabs one of the bacon sandwiches.
Yeah, there's plenty of food.
Like I think it's like in a little plastic. Crinkle.
Yeah, he's got these chef feet.
That's right. So,
Cyberus is the ship cook.
Yeah, he's the Sanji of the group.
Nice. Just need a little paper cigarette.
I can do that.
No. He needs a lollipop.
Lollipop.
A smoking lollipop.
As long as the lollipop can light a dynamite stick. Just in case.
Losing Scotty. You froze there for a minute on my side.
Yeah, I think I'm back.
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
so
Chat says that I just saw chat. I apologize if you're not here anymore, Jellybean. But we should have our hats be orange felt Robin Hood hats, purple and green feathers. Quite colorful.
that's amazing.
I like it.
So, all right. So we know we're going to this place. Do you have a plan for what's there? I assume he's going to have some kind of protections. Yeah.
There's only scattered reports of what's there. There isn't a lot of explicit information about what to expect.
We're trying to prepare for it. We can.
Yeah.
As much as we can.
If there's a way to ground the ship to protect it from lightning, I think lightning is one of the hazards that stuck out in the research.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what the masts are for.
Well, as a structure, lightning typically isn't going to deal. I mean, it's a very large ship. It would take because you guys are on this ship. It's so like the regular sailing ship of the real world, it's like twice that size. It's like, so it would take significant amounts of lightning to take something like this down.
That's a good point. We just have to stay inside.
I did, however, one of the scrolls there could protect one of you from lightning. It's not much, but it's one of you. If anybody else knows that protection from energy spell.
Hopefully we can get within the lightning area before we need to worry about it.
I would think Big Boss would probably be on the crow's nest. Make the most use out of the lightning.
We could all just hide inside until we get in. Like, it might be like a minimum range of lightning that if once we get inside the radius, it won't be a problem.
And have you seen this structure yet?
In the imagination of a book? No.
When we get to the plane that it's on, I could attempt to scry on it, try to get eyes on what it looks like in reality.
I could help. Might also warn them we're coming, but they're going to know we're coming pretty quick anyways. Although they might wonder if this ship is under the control of Ka if we show up, in which case they might think it's an ally.
Gotta quickly figure it out.
Who is Ka?
Previous captain, you might say. They'd figure it out, but maybe not immediately. We won't rely on it, but it'll be a nice option. I think that's everything I've got. I can't think of anything else that I can do to help prepare.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know that he can actually scry on it. It has to be a place you've seen before.
Well, if we get close enough to see it, he could use one of those spells that lets him make like a sensor up close.
Arcane Eye.
Yeah, one of those things, or clairvoyance or something.
I do have that one prepared.
before we do that, I have both myself and I have a contact that could do legend lore. Would that be able to look into something that we've not seen before?
I think that would be very significant for the tyrant.
It would definitely help, yeah.
Okay. I can do it as a ritual, or I can reach out to my contact to do that if need be.
Why don't you both cast it?
I don't think that spell is ritual, is it?
It's.
No,
I have
it's-
it written down as ritual.
I would think you would know, Kat. Your
It's
one character
not, no.
cast it all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a
It
10-minute
Yeah, I was
spell.
gonna
It,
say.
it might be because it takes 10 minutes, and
And
there's
also,
like
yeah, I was gonna say usually 10-minute spells are ritual casted, but yeah, it's not a ritual
Yeah.
one.
You can name the Tyrant or the Twilight Citadel.
A slight side tangent on previous campaign. Kat played a lore bard, and legend lore was her bread and butter, and it was pretty much like, hey, I want to get an exposition dump. I cast legend lore.
I cast it so fucking often that I got my dumbass cat kidnapped by a genie because I wanted more of the material component to cast the spell more.
Also,
Should have bought an incense mine.
Also, she might
Also,
have peered at a few
multiple
gods, and a few
times.
gods peered back.
Yes, and I continued to fucking do it because I'm stupid.
Good times.
so then, yeah, I have legend lore. I
Yeah.
copied it down as one of my own spells.
There's not many spells I think I could use to help in my current situation, but I could fortify this room, make sure nothing else can get in.
Could be helpful.
It
Especially
was
if you can
difficult for us to get in here.
close that door as easily as you did when I first came in.
Of course. I do it, and then I open it again.
Do we know how close we could get to the place once we plane shift?
You know more than us. You're the one that read about it, but we've only got what we had in that book, and
Well, I
Yeah,
don't know how exactly plane shift works. I don't know if you could
We'll
take us
have
to
to-
just a place you know or
we'll
the
have to
equivalent
be
location we're in.
cautious.
Yeah.
We will be somewhere
Uh,
nearby.
So, you can specify a target destination in general terms, such as the city of Brass on the elemental plane of fire, and you appear in or near that destination.
I would be very surprised if the Tyler doesn't have some sort of anti-teleportation shifting magic around the Citadel just to prevent people from doing this exactly inside. So it'd probably put us close then if that's how that works.
Yeah, but you could at least get closer, and
Mm-hmm.
depending on how fast this thing can go, it might not be that difficult to.
Pretty fast, actually.
Yeah. I think we'll pop in. He'll find out about it pretty quick, but then it'll be too late to do much more than be ready for us.
Hopefully.
Did you guys want to do your normal thing, where I just charge the boat as fast as possible and you'll go in guns blazing?
What? Are there
That's
other
what we-
options? I think it's time to make a plan.
I think we should.
Stealth could be helpful.
I think we should keep our distance and absorb the Citadel as much as we can. See what kind of defense it has before we get to it.
That's a good plan. Could we make the ship invisible? And plane shift?
I don't.
It's too big.
Yeah, invisibility doesn't work well on objects, let alone objects that are
This big.
bigger than the warehouse we're next to.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals, you could if we teleport far enough, if we plane shift in far enough away, we could find a way to conceal the ship, or at least just be far enough away that it's not as much of an issue, and then
I think I think
either
we'll have to see what we see
walk
when we
or
get there.
fly the rest of the way if any of you can become invisible or are just incredibly sneaky.
How many times are we going to fucking skydrop into a location? Because that's my new idea.
I mean, it's a good idea.
That's what I was saying. You guys like to go in and hit first.
My only worry about that is if we don't have the ship when we go in, then we'll be in trouble. If the lightning is a thing.
Another problem, at least for me, is I'm a prisoner and I like to figure out how to not be.
If the ship is destroyed, you'd be freed, right?
I might be destroyed with,
Okay.
judging by what Gunny said.
As you say that, Gunny sort of walks back. I don't. You are not. We're not the same. But I don't get destroyed more of unmade, unraveled.
Oh.
You get destroyed when the ship gets destroyed. I just get unraveled. We're not the same.
I'm still me though.
We need this meme now.
Connection is different.
The next time I come back, I look the same. I have the same chip here and the same darker black spot here. At least when I come to this realm.
Yeah, but now you have this cool hat.
You put the hat on, Gunny.
Yeah, I give him the hat.
Oh.
I put the picture in the
It's
Discord.
comically small. This guy is large size.
I got the biggest one they had, but you know, it's
he
a
like-
store for people.
Is he like ogre built? Is ogre
Yeah,
built?
he's oh my god. I just saw the hat that you gave him. This is glorious.
I figured he needed something that stands out.
I mean,
Something
you're
that's
not wrong.
contrasting.
Oh my god. Okay,
This
so
is a
for
work
those
of
that
art.
don't know, it's a big red wide-brimmed hat with a huge feather up above and like a big flower, and it's like super saturated red. What would you call this? Like 20s big hat fashion? Like 1800s?
I mean,
I don't know.
I have no idea. It's not the 20s. The 20s wasn't big hats. Really.
Big
I think
Um,
it was like on a Red Hat Society type of Pinterest board.
Yeah, see, like, it's hard to
Oh,
tell.
come the fuck on. There we go.
You only see the
it-
top part of the hat, but the bottom part's this big
Basically.
wide brim all the way around.
It's great. I love it. So,
Your camera yellowed out when you came back. Thanks, camera.
So I think all the
There.
prep we can do now is plane shift there and see what the situation looks like, and then decide from then.
did you want to do your legend lore
Yes,
first
yes.
or after?
I think we should wait till tomorrow.
I agree.
We can all prepare
Yes.
spells appropriate.
Well, I'm going to test something. I'm going to kick the wall real hard and
Ow.
look at Gruk. Do you feel that?
It's like a
You
slight-
feel
Ow.
it, but effectively you feel it, but you don't take any damage. You don't see any
Oh, it's like a
wounds or
Terminator.
anything. It's like you have the sensations of it, but you don't get the feedback of the physical damage.
Brooke just looks at you like, "What? Why the fuck did you do that?" He doesn't
So
seem
We
like
had to be
you're
sure.
hurt.
I don't know. What if I come up a situation where I want to use part of the ship as a weapon? I don't want to. Now I'll know that it might hurt you.
The ship is a weapon.
No, but I
Literally
mean, like-
made as a weapon.
If something attacks and it breaks a piece, and I rip the chunk off and smash him with it, or try to impale him on the mast. Or what if Onyx like rips the mast off and like swings it around?
It's the same as any other vehicle. If you rip off part of it, you're ripping off part of the vehicle.
Oh, the part of the vehicle where the driver can feel it.
I can.
That's the difference. I mean,
I can feel it. Yeah.
I'm sure it won't come up. Yeah, but if we do go into lightning and the ship gets hit with a bunch of lightning, that's going to suck for you.
I would feel it, but it wouldn't hurt me if that's.
Thank you for this meme, Hera.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. For those at home, I'm gonna put it in our overlay.
Thank you. So, I will say so that I have a good amount of time to prepare what you see with it. If you guys want to end it here, and next time we'll say what Demona and her contact see in legend lore, and get everything set to plane shift to the Twilight Citadel.
Exciting plan. I'm glad the NPC told us that we should do this. It's a good idea. I forgot all about this part of it. I was so focused on the Black Fleet, I forgot about the Tyrant.
I mean,
I have been making plans for the tyrant that you guys don't even know about. And I'd be like a bit of a dick for not telling anybody that Passion has a plan for the
Oh.
tyrant.
Now you
Oh,
can tell us.
oh yeah.
because that's where we're going.
I'm just going
I'm
to
still
trust
gonna
everyone
keep
to do
telling
their
it a
best.
secret.
I don't
'Cause,
think I
hey,
have. Yeah.
Part of Passion's plan doesn't work if part people know what's going on with the plan. Because she doesn't know if the tyrant can read minds.
Oh,
Good plan.
Basil will mention the plane shift can only take the caster, so me or you, Gruk, and up to 8 willing creatures. So 6 of you plus me is 7. Two more people. So just to be aware, that's to think of who you're taking.
I got nobody but us. Sometimes all you need is your coterie. And now with a golem.
Gunny is just sort of like, am I going with you or am I staying here with the
That-
ship?
That is up to you. You are
Well,
now
the
your
ship is
own
going.
free-
I will think on it.
Gruk just
Yeah.
gives him a confirming nod. Smiles. Well,
So, unless there's anything else you guys want to wrap up this time, I will say we'll pick up there next time, and we can do some plugs.
Gruk would make sure Cyberus dumps the trash at our house for DeVito. He's probably kind of hungry.
Okay.
I'll make Seth do it. He's in charge of all that.
Yeah. We'll go for
So, Vex, do you got anything going on?
Check out my channel. Fracture Moon D&D. We had a game last night, and we had a game Tuesday, and then we have, every other Tuesday, and we have a game every other Sunday, hopefully. Keep
Yeah.
tuned. Check it out. All my games are great. Everyone on my channel is awesome. And last night we had an amazing performance, and we may or may not have the worry of Jimmy Buffett suing us. It'll be funny. That's it for me.
Hera, what do you have going on?
Yeah, not much because my one game is currently in hiatus because my job situation is kind of awkward.
Good.
I kind of want to start it up again soonish, though ideally this month. It's at 12:30 p.m. EST over on Vex's channel. As you just mentioned, it's a mask game, and it's fun. Like I hope I start at like maybe next Sunday, like so not the one that's like this weekend, but the next one. Yeah. And they the heroes just walk out of their superhero school with like almost all students and some of the teachers following their walkout. So that's what happens. So that's fun. Yeah.
Nice.
It's me.
All right. Luke, do you got anything?
No, just watch that Crow and Chimera web YouTube.
Yeah, go check that out, guys. That's a cool one.
Wasn't there a cool Fallout one shot? Not that I was part of it or anything.
Sorry, I'm
It's
just laughing at
Cram full of neat things.
Yes, there is a couple of cool one shots there. Let me try and pull up the YouTube. Yeah, so there every Monday is either Baltimore by Night, our Vampire the Masquerade game that Luke and a bunch of other cool ass people are in, or Dishonored, which has me and Kevin and Alt and Reese. Missed a week of that just because life stuff, but we also have a couple of one shots on there. There's Fallout 1 and 2 Mage one shots, and one other I think that I can't remember what it is. Yeah, so go check that out. It's Crow and Chimera on YouTube, and we also have a Twitter where I announce all our stuff. And Scott, do you want to close this out?
Yeah, I apologize. There was a cat burring over some of the shout out. Sure.
Are you
Amazing.
apologizing for that?
Apologize
Yeah.
if there isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't apologize for that.
Garf's just very happy. Well, we're back with this channel, Scotty Hood. in full swing. So we're back on our normal schedule. So tomorrow, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're back with Chaos Crew. And then at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're back with Ghost of Saltmarsh, which I think was actually on probably the longest hiatus out of all the shows. So it will be nice to get back to that. And they're just starting the last adventure in the Ghost of Saltmarsh book called The Sty.
Oh. Oh yeah, we were gonna go save that guy
Oh,
from getting
yeah.
executed.
Yeah, it's very,
I bet I know what's
very
going
Call
on.
of Cthulhu. So, for today, everybody.
Well, if we do like we have in the previous episodes of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, we may be discussing it for a few more episodes.
This is the kind of adventure
I'm just
that's
hoping
fine
it
with.
doesn't go the way our last Call of Cthulhu game went. Yeah. So go check that out. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Don't merely unravel.
Go hiking.